Hello everyone, this is Jason White. Welcome to the highlights package for round 4 of our 1965 F1 series, coming to you from the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps circuit. This is the hairpin at La Source. Drivers getting used to full fuel loads in preparation for today's race. And there is the track, 14 kilometers around, and it looks really crooked, but it's actually quite fast in many sections, and we're going for 32 laps, or a little over 451 kilometers. The interesting thing, too, about this circuit is it's very, very bumpy. Even on straight sections where you're going 130, 140 miles an hour or more, you really have to hang on to the wheel. Let's take a look at the point standings going into today's race. Giovanni Centorami is in the lead with 18 points. Tim Hill in second with 12 points. Nicholas Kirsten in third with 11. John Team in fourth with 9. Grant Riddall in fifth with 8. And then David Watman in sixth with 7 points. In the Manufacturers' Championship, Ferrari is in the lead with 20 points. Brabham Climax in second with 17. Cooper Climax in third with 9. Lotus Climax in fourth with 7. Lotus BRM in fifth with 4. And then BRM has 1 point in sixth. And there's the point scheme one more time for you. Hard to believe we're already just about at the midpoint of this series. And at some point we're going to have to do those dreaded drop scores. Coming up at ISO, the British Grand Prix, our 5th round of the series. Sunday, March 15th, race starts at 2000 CET. I believe there's one off in this race, but it's already been taken. But should be a really exciting race. Very fast. Trivia question for you to ponder. Who set the fastest race lap in the 1965 Belgian Grand Prix? Was it A, Bruce McLaren, B, Jackie Stewart, or was it C, Jim Clark? We'll have the answer for you later on in this highlights package. All right, let's take a look at the grid. On the pole is David Watman in his Lotus Climax with a time of just under 3 minutes 47 seconds. This is a 3-2-3-2 grid formation at Spa. Alongside David is the first of the factory Ferraris in the hands of Giovanni Centorami. He's won 2 races in this series so far, looking for a 3rd win here. Very, very quick driver. And alongside him, in the first of the BRMs, is David Saber. There he is. That's the Graham Hill entry. So you've got 3 very capable drivers on the front row, and they've got to funnel into Eau Rouge somehow. So we'll see what happens when the flag drops. Going to the next row, we have Gabriel Del Piccolo. There he is in his number 6 Andre Wiki privateer entry. He's had very good qualifying results with this car. A couple of top 10 qualifying results, and this is the best he's done so far in the grid. And alongside Gabriel is the second BRM in the hands of Juha Boss, car number 4, the Jackie Stewart entry. This is Juha's home race, the Belgian Grand Prix, and he'll be very anxious to do well here. Going to the next row of 3 cars, we have Tim Hilla in his privateer Ferrari, number 24, North American Racing Team, and you can tell the privateer Ferrari from the factory Ferraris by the blue and white stripe on the nose. And alongside Tim, we have the first of the Reg Parnell entries in the hands of Ruben Fernandez, another driver who has had excellent qualifying results throughout the series so far. And alongside Ruben, we have the first of the Cooper Climax entries in the hands of Cezarius Lipinski. There he is, car number 10, the Jochen Rindt entry from 1965. And Cezarius is no slouch when the flag drops. It'll be interesting to see where he is at the end of lap 1. 9th on the grid is Sam Smith in the number 19 Reg Parnell entry, Chris Amon's car. Remember that Sam is in Australia, so he's up in an ungodly hour to race with us, and that's dedication. To close out the top 10, we have car number 9, and this is John Team. He's streaming the race from his cockpit. Definitely very fun to watch over there. Hopefully he will have a fun and safe race. So that's the top 10. Let's look at the rest of the grid. 11th is Rob DeVries. 12th, Grant Riddall. Curious to see him that far down on the grid. 13th, Nicholas Kirsten in his privateer entry, and then August Watring in 14th for Brabham. 15th is Brian Janik, 16th Rob Swindells, 17th Adam Hackman, and then you have Peter Hlavich starting in 18th place. 19th is Mikael Drexler in the first of the Honda cars. 20th, Andres Vitoria for Scuderia Centro Sud. 21st, Richard Wilkes, and then 22nd, Gerard Rion. 23rd, Bruno Chacon in the second Honda. Yours truly in 24th, Perez Parnell. Ray Riddall starts 25th for Team Lotus, and then Jules Bouchard starts in 26th for Reg Parnell. Rounding out the field, we have Anders Nilsson in 27th and Johnny Aces in 28th. Added to the back of the grid in 29th is Simon Wattman in his number 2 Ferrari. All right, so the cars are on the grid, ready for the start. I'm going to hang back for a change and let you enjoy the sounds of the race as the Belgian Grand Prix comes to life. Coming down to complete lap number 1 of 32 is David Saber in the lead. David Wattman in second, Giovanni Centorami in third, Tim Hilla fourth. And we're on board now with Juha Boss in his BRM as they head downhill towards Eau Rouge, one of the most diabolical corners in all of motor racing. Be very, very careful not to touch the hay bales here. Heading uphill now. And back to the left. Juha's got a bit of a roll here on Tim Hilla. Let's see if he can overtake him. He's going to the left-hand side. And he does. Juha is up to 4th place now in his BRM. Looks like he already has designs on 3rd place here from Centurami. You can see David Watman just ahead of Centurami there. Remember that these are country roads, full of signs and houses and telephone poles, trees, bushes, all kinds of things you have to avoid. Juha getting closer here to Centurami, but you see he can't really act on it yet because the track is not that wide. Slipstreaming is definitely a factor here at Spa, but you have to time it just right so you can slingshot past the car you want to overtake. Juha hanging back a little bit now. Oops, he touched the grass there. That's another thing you don't want to do, because it could send the car out of control. But here at this ground level camera position, you can see how bumpy the track is. The car just teeters back and forth at speed. Alright, so Juha closing once again. He's going to the right-hand side. Oh, goodness! That gap closed very quickly. But he should be alongside Centurami at this point as they come toward us. Let's have a look. And yes, Juha is now in 3rd place, having overtaken Giovanni Centurami. So a very good opening 2 laps for Juha Boss and his BRM. You see David Saber in the lead, David Watman 2nd, Juha in 3rd, Centurami 4th, just ahead of Tim Hilla in his Ferrari. Also on lap 2, this is Ślepinski in 8th, driving his Cooper Climax. Everything seems okay, but then all of a sudden he just loses control, hits to the inside, takes a wheel off on the fence, and that's the end of the day for Ślepinski. But let's have another look at this. There was slight contact there, it appears, with Del Piccolo, and sometimes that's all it takes to send these cars out of control. Lap number 3. This is Juha Boss running in 3rd, and he is following David Watman in 2nd, heading towards Eau Rouge. And oh, David was just a little bit too slow up that hill. This may be an opportunity for Juha as he pulls out to the left-hand side. And they're side by side right now. Great racing. We'll see if Juha can get the upper hand here. And yes, he finally does. So Juha in 2nd is a BRM 1-2 at this point, but you can see that David's checked out. He's way ahead of this group of cars. Well, not way ahead. He's got a good cushion, though. Also on lap number 3, this is Centurami doing battle with Tim Hilla. He gets ahead of him here, I think. But this ground level shot is really fantastic to look at with all the texture flying by. Yes, Centurami is ahead of Tim Hilla at this point, and they're heading towards the end of lap number 3. He might be able to get another position here because he's got David Watman just in front of him. There are the 2 BRMs. There's David Watman and Centurami. And here comes Centurami up the inside at La Source. And yes, he passes David Watman for 3rd place. And there's Tim Hilla also looking to get by David Watman as they head down the hill. But he's going to hang behind David Watman for now. Lap number 3 also, this is Ruben Fernandez heading towards Stavelot. And oh my goodness, 2 cars actually out of control here. It's Del Piccolo and Ruben Fernandez both DNFing at the same time. Here's another look at it, and it looks like Ruben checked up when Del Piccolo went into a slide, and they both just crashed at the same time. That's really unfortunate. Lap number 4, and this is Nicholas Kirsten running in 8th place, and he's following John Team, who's in 7th place. The view from Kirsten's car. Looks like he's got a little bit of a roll here. Maybe he can pull out and pass underneath this bridge. Side by side. And it looks like he's just slipped past him there at the 100 marker. And yes, he's finally able to close the gap there. So Nicholas Kirsten up to 7th place. John Team down to 8th. Lap 4 and 5, actually. This is Team with Kirsten, and he's going to pass him back here on this straightaway. Heading past one of the many houses on this circuit. As they come toward us, it appears the team, yes, Team has taken the position back from Kirsten. So John Team back into 7th place. Heading towards the end of the lap here. Let's see if Kirsten is able to counterattack here. No, he's still behind Team, so that's the way it looks like it's going to end for this lap. No, he's not going to try going up the inside. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. John Team runs wide, and there goes Kirsten right back in front of him again for 7th place. So a very good battle between these two. Let's see what happens here as they go to Eau Rouge. Heading up the hill here. Kirsten in 7th. Team in 8th. And now things get quicker as they get to stretch their legs. Let's see what happens here. Yep, John's going to take another shot on the inside. Side by side for the moment. Let's see if he can close the deal. Yes, he does. John Team goes up to 7th place yet again. Great battle with these two drivers. Lap number 5. This is Sam Smith in his Reg Parnell entry heading towards Stavelot. Oh, goodness. He just runs a bit too wide there. Clips the barriers. That's the end of the day for Sam. That's really too bad because he had a great qualifying session. And here's his teammate, Rob DeVries, entering Eau Rouge. Getting very wide there against the hay bales, but then he runs off the course on the exit, loses a wheel there. I'm not sure he realized he lost a wheel because he's trying to get back on course, but that's 2 Reg Parnell entries out on the same lap. Not a good race for us. Now, this is lap 6. Juha in 2nd, challenging David Saber for the lead. Side-by-side racing at the moment. And there he's able to get ahead. So Juha goes into the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Oof. Clipping the grass there. David staying right in his slipstream here, making sure he doesn't lose him. But a BRM 1-2, the front, but now Juha in the lead in the car number 4. This is lap number 7, and this is Grant Riddall, and you'll notice the way he's sawing at the wheel there. My guess is that he has some kind of damage that he's working with. But the car just gets loose and runs wide on him, so a forgettable race for Grant on this occasion. But he'll be back, no question about it. Lap number 8. This is David Saber in 2nd place behind Juha. And oh my goodness, he runs very close to the hay bales and has a similar incident to DeVries. The difference is he doesn't lose a wheel. And here he is gingerly trying to get back on track. A very, very lucky recovery for David Saber. And that's going to send him down to 5th place, but he's not going to be there long. Lap 12. This is Saber having caught up to Tim Hilla, who is running in 4th. Staying right there in his slipstream, waiting to pounce. The view from David Saber's car. Pulls out to the left. Trying to slip by here before the bridge. And yes, he gets it done. David Saber now up into 4th place. And apparently his car was not damaged in that incident because he's just as quick as he was before. Tim Hill is staying right with David in his slipstream. Also on lap 12, this is Richard Wilkes running 8th in his Ferrari. You can just see him going off the road back there behind the bushes. And it's a good thing this is a sim, because here he is upside down and runs into the fence. And unfortunately, that's the end of the day for Richard Wilkes. Lap number 13. This is Brian Janik following John Team. This is for 7th place as they come down to La Source, and a textbook pass here from Brian Janik. He takes line. Oops! Well, maybe not entirely textbook. I'm sure he didn't want to contact John Team there, and actually John Team fishtails a bit there, and he's going to lose another spot. It's kind of hard to know where you are as you're going into La Source. Sometimes you steer too much into it and you can contact the car. And here is another La Source pass, this time from Centorami, and this is for the lead going down towards Eau Rouge. So with Sabre out of the picture for the moment, Centorami asserts himself and puts Ferrari in the top spot here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Looking back from Centorami's car, there's still tires back there. Oh goodness, Centorami misses a shift there. Let's see if Juha is able to counterattack here. No, not quite. Looks like the Ferrari horsepower saved Centorami from losing the lead there. Lap 16, this is Anders Nilsson, and he's running in 6th at the moment. Most of the incidents we've seen so far have been contact related, but here is an engine failure, unfortunately, for Nilsson. So you can definitely push the car too hard on a circuit like this at such high speed. Lap 18, this is Juha once again, and he wants the lead back. Pulling out to the right. And there he goes, right by Giovanni Centorami and back into the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Such a picturesque circuit, but also such a dangerous circuit. Now here is Tim Hilla on the same lap. And he's in 5th, and he is running just behind David Sabre. David runs a bit wide there, and I guess Tim just misjudged the closing rate there and ran into the back of David, and that's the end of Tim's race. That's really too bad. Lap 19, and we're back with the leaders. This is Centorami following Juha, pulling out to pass for the lead. And a bit difficult to see here, but it looks like Juha's fighting back. Yes, he is. Side-by-side racing. But finally, Centorami is able to get it done. Ferrari back on top in the Belgian Grand Prix. This is lap 20. And this battle is not over yet. Juha Boss wants the lead back. Following Centorami here over the bumps. Centorami moves to the right. I'm not sure whether that's to avoid a bump or as evasive action, but here they come toward us. Let's take a close look. See who has the upper hand. And it's Juha once again. Now look further behind and you'll see a second BRM pass here. That is David Sabre passing David Wattman for 3rd. So here they come, the top 4. Juha first, Centorami in 2nd. Then you have David Sabre and David Wattman 3rd and 4th. Lap 25, we're riding with Centorami, and he runs off the course here just a little bit. Doesn't hit anything, thankfully, but that did cost him a lot of momentum. And look what happens here. Sabre is able to whistle right by on the inside because he's at full song, and Centorami not quite at full song because he lost some momentum on the grass there. That's all it takes sometimes. And with Centorami out of the picture, it now becomes a duel between the two BRMs for the win. Lap 26, and this is Sabre passing Juha for the lead. And settle in, because this is going to be a very interesting fight to the finish. Also on the same lap, this is Brian Janik running in 5th place here. A really good effort from him, but unfortunately he just misjudges this corner, and that's enough to send him into the barrier and out of the race. That's really too bad because he had a great run going. All right, lap 27, back with the leaders. Here comes Juha, looking to pass his teammate on the outside here. It's just a gap open there. Looking back now from Juha's car. And there, just emerging now, is David Saber's car. So Juha back into the lead as these cars bounce around on this very rough surface. These guys are very, very eager to take a win here. They don't want to leave anything on the table. Lap 29, Saber passes Juha for the lead once again. And now we move to the final lap of the race. This is Juha following Saber. He's going to try to pass him on the outside here. Looking back from Juha's car, and there he goes into the lead one more time. It's a long lap here, so Saber still has a shot. Here he comes, he's closing back again. Going to the right-hand side. Side-by-side racing. And there goes Saber back into the lead. So, great racing here on the final lap of the race. Heading a little bit further into the final lap. And you see Saber ran onto the grass just a little bit there, and that was the decisive moment, it turned out. He lost a little bit of speed, and here comes his teammate inching up on him. Juha looking to take the lead back. On the outside of this turn, side by side. And he just gets the overlap there. Juha back into the lead. Coming down to La Source for the final time. Is Saber going to be able to counterattack? There they are coming towards La Source. Juha protecting the inside line there. Saber breaks kind of late there coming into the final corner, but as ever, here they are coming back to the line. Juha Boss in front. Can he get to the line ahead of his teammate? It looks like he will. And there it is. Juha Boss wins his home Grand Prix with his teammate in second. A great battle. There is Giovanni Centorami finishing just ahead of David Watman, the third and fourth finishers. Moving ahead a little bit here. Here comes John Team. He is going to finish in 5th place. A very good result for him. He started in 10th. Crosses the line, and he looks happy. He's swerving the car back and forth there. And now, this guy did not get a lot of TV time, but Andres Vittoria in Scuderia Centro Sud entry number 36 is going to take the last points-paying position, 6th place. Great effort from him in a car that, frankly, is not on the same level as some of the top-line cars. And here comes Adam Hackman. We didn't see much of him in this highlights package, but he's going to finish just out of the points in 7th place. So great effort from him. He comes down to cross the line. And then there's some other cars that already finished. And this is Bruno, who finished in 8th. Gerard Rion finished 9th. Jules Bouchard in 10th. And the last car running was Simon Watman in 11th. All right, so here are the point standings after round 4. Giovanni Centorami still in the lead with 22 points. Tim Hillett in second with 12. A tie for third between Nicholas Kirsten and John Team with 11 points. And then Juha Boss and David Watman are tied for 5th with 10 points apiece. In the manufacturer's points, Ferrari is in the lead with 24 points. Brabham Climax in second with 17. Cooper Climax in third with 11. A tie for 4th between BRM and Lotus Climax with 10 apiece. And then Lotus BRM in 6th with 4 points. Trivia question for you. Who set the fastest race lap in the 1965 Belgian Grand Prix? Was it A, Bruce McLaren, B, Jackie Stewart, or was it C, Jim Clark? Time is up. And if you answered Jim Clark, you are correct. 4:12.9 was the time for Jim Clark, fastest race lap. All right, so coming up at ISO, don't forget our next race on Sunday, March 15th. We have a little more time between races now. It's the British Grand Prix, round 5 of 10. Race starts at 2000 CET. And keep an eye out because sometimes some people can't make it and one-offs do appear. All right, so that's the end of this highlights package for round number 4, the Belgian Grand Prix. Thanks everyone for watching. This is Jason White saying everybody take care and be safe.